Hey, so don't tell Alex, but I borrowed his ScubaPro hat, and of course I've got the ScubaPro Hydros Pro on. So can you tell what this video is going to be about? Stick with me. I'm going to tell you all about it. Hi guys, Bob Collins for Diver Supply. Like I said, can you tell what this video is going to be about? And here's the thing. This video was actually generated because of one of you out there making a comment down below, and I responded to it. We got talking back and forth, and so I decided, you know, I haven't done anything about the Hydros, so I'd like to make some comments about it. The Hydros is a back inflate style BCD, and we were doing some discussion about the pros and cons between back inflates and jacket styles, and of course the new hybrid style BCDs out there. The Hydros is a pretty special BCD in my opinion. It is a back inflate, and it has a lot of unique features that maybe some other back inflates don't have, and is extremely unique within the scuba industry as far as its construction and such. Now, it is a little on the pricey side, and that's why the big S is on the hat. But at the same time, you're getting a lot of BCD and a lot of features and a lot of uniqueness for your dollar. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment down here, and I'm going to put the unit up on the display stand. And again, I'm going to kind of walk around it and point out some of these things. But again, one of the things I noted when I went down and secured my belly strap is that there's a right connect strap into a left pull adjustment. It's kind of interesting, and it's different from other BCDs out there, but once you get used to it, hey, it's no big deal. Now we're going to come up, we've got a very adjustable chest strap, and of course securing the shoulder straps is very easy to do. I did notice, now this is a large, I normally wear a large, but one of the things I wanted to point out, of course, was how long these straps are, which would mean if I'm wearing a 5 mil, a 7 mil, or maybe even a dry suit, that this unit is going to be extremely adjustable when I wear it. Now, again, one of the things you've got to be aware of, there have been some improvements and some modifications on the Hydros by ScubaPro, and I believe it actually has definitely improved the shoulders, and that's really what I'm talking about. Before, this unit in all actuality was extremely squeaky, and it was a little annoying, but underwater you really don't pay too much attention to it. The inflator is nice and long. You've got a pull dump as well as an instructor, what we call an instructor valve, dump valve back there. And one of the things that they've done on this particular inflator deflator, I'll get a little bit of a close-up there, is you notice that these inflate button is red, deflate button is gray, and they're both located on what I would call the top of the inflator. Can you see that? Okay, let me get in the light here a little bit better. Now, I have seen certain situations where people tend to get confused by having both of these on top, because as we know, most BCD inflator deflators, the exhaust or dump button is on the end of it. I'm not going to say the top, but the end of it, and you would hold it up to dump, and then usually the inflate button is actually on the side. But when you hold this unit, it actually is quite comfortable, and when you see the oral inflate opening, it's easy to turn and get into your mouth to be able to orally inflate the BCD. That's some of the comments. One of the things that I really enjoy about BCDs today that maybe we didn't have so much, and especially this doesn't, not so much is included out there on some of the lesser priced units, but right shoulder dump to me is absolutely gold because it's so effective in the feet down position. And of course, when you're in a neutral buoyancy position, that shoulder or shoulders is actually normally kind of the highest point. So it's extremely effective in either the neutral buoyancy or the foot down position. Now the unit does have back here in the back on the left side. Now this is actually to the inner side, what I actually term a butt dump because it's down here next to your gluteus maximus down here. But one of the things that's unique about it is it's actually located to the inside, and most of the dumps you're going to see on most BCDs are located on the outside of the bladder. So again, kind of some uniqueness about this. So let me pull it off and get it on the stand. I'd like to, again, kind of walk through a few of the unique features. Now, one of the things you're going to notice about the Hydros is it's actually got a back plate. It's not soft at all. And one of the things I found is when I was wearing a 3 mil wetsuit that you could actually feel the bottom of this. It's almost like a lumbar pushing against your lower back. And the material in the shoulder straps and in this back plate is a product that ScubaPro calls fluid form. And it is, they're calling it a 3D gel, but it's pretty hard, but it has some flexibility to it. It's quick dry, which makes it kind of nice. And one of the things that I thought was a real pro about this and not a con, when diving this particular unit, I actually didn't have to wear as much weight with this unit that I did with maybe some of the others, that the material that was cut and sewn, ScubaPro actually talks about that in some of their advertising, that is buoyant. And so this material is not buoyant, so you're not lugging around extra weight. You have a D-ring located here and a D-ring underneath the inflator there, which is pretty handy. Now, one of the things that's a little unusual is the fact when you look down here at the weight pockets, and I'll get a close-up here of the weight pocket area. If you look, there's actually places, 2 holes here that are located so that you can mount D-rings or a pocket of some type. And there's also a D-ring located down here on the bottom, which makes it really nice for your camera or surface marker or whatever it happens to be. Now, there's again, the monoprene material is the outside of this weight pocket, and then your normal weight pocket, of course, you do a pinch and pull to remove your weight pocket, and it's got a zipper on it so that it makes it easy. Now, one of the things about this weight pocket, again, I'm gonna get a bit of a close-up there so everybody can see that. If you look at the way the zipper is, it starts up here, comes around like this and comes underneath. And the positive lock, you heard it when I took it out there a second ago, the positive lock is a big benefit for when you're underwater. It's always nice that you can actually hear that click when it locks into place. So the monoprene is nice. Extra attachment points are really nice, which makes it really universal. But you got to pay for those extras. So just be aware, you don't really have any storage on this BCD. Now, they do offer different color monoprenes if you want to make yourself unique to maybe match your fins or whatever on that sort of thing that you can change on these outside of the weight pocket area. It's kind of cool. You can make it personal as much as you want to. Now, one of the things that I was impressed and I'm big about is anytime you've got a bladder for a back inflate, you hate that bladder to be flapping around like a flag. This one actually is folded over, and in here there's a bungee that actually helps when you partially inflate this to be neutrally buoyant. It keeps the bladder compact. I'm going to turn around. We're going to take a look at the back. That little instructor valve I was telling you about, they've changed the design a little bit. It used to be on the top that you could pull back. Now it's a little lever here, and it's a little stiffer than the other one. But if an instructor needed to assist you, or maybe a dive buddy needed to assist you a little bit, they could pull this down and dump a little bit out of this particular valve. And of course you can pull on the inflator hose and dump off the left shoulder if you're one of those people that tends to be addicted to holding on to the inflator. And it's amazing how many people go through open water training and they're never even introduced to the right shoulder dump, or maybe the student gear they use didn't have one. So, and of course right here you see a nice low profile right shoulder dump and the string that actuates it. And one of the nice things is these little touches like this guide for the string makes it really nice and convenient. When we look down here on the back now, I'm not going to pull the tank strap loose, but there's a nice tank strap underneath here, and it's got that really cool ScubaPro type of connection on it. So, you know, that can be a real benefit on it. Now, one of the things about this back inflate that I like a lot is the fact that your trim pockets are easily accessible and they're not directly attached to the bladder. There's a separate piece of material here that has that pocket on it, and it's actually got a buckle closure. And of course, this particular unit here, there's a nice valve strap, quick release valve strap, which is really nice. And I always feel like that makes, especially in a kind of a minimalist unit like this, it really makes it, the tank, a cohesive part of the structural strength of the BCD. And of course, there is a backpack in here with some friction pads to help secure the tank. Now, one of the other things I'm going to point out, of course, is that Hydros is made in a male and a female unit. You're able to order, you know, the different size. I think there's extra small up through 2XL in that. The female's unit comes with white on the outside, but like I said before, you can change those colors. One of the other things that this unit comes with that makes it unique, this is a ScubaPro backpack. And the rep, when he showed this unit to us, had everything. He had this unit, he had a reg set, he had a mask, he had like a 1.5 mil wetsuit, and on the outside he had a pair of the ScubaPro Go fins. But he had everything in this backpack to include a computer. And that's what he would take on the airplane when he would go warm water diving and such. Now, I don't think you're going to get all of that to include a 7 mil or something like that in here. But it's kind of nice that they give you this nice little backpack and such. One of the other unique things about the Hydros is that its accommodation for warm water diving is carried on into the weight and harness configuration. So in the bag, you're going to get what I term a simple harness. And a simple harness to me is a harness like we use with a back plate and wing that doesn't include any kind of weight pocket on it. So if you're going warm water diving and you're going to use a minimal of weight, then what you can do is there's a little release back here in the back. There's a little release. You can see this gray that slides up, and this weight pocket harness portion from the quick release up here all the way down, this comes away, and you can replace it with what I term again the simple harness. You can replace it with this. And then when you're in warmer water, maybe you're diving with no wetsuit or whatever it happens to be, that you've got less bulky, and again, it packs up and goes into the unit a lot, into that backpack a lot nicer. So I hope that answered some of your questions out there. If you've been thinking about the Hydros and you were wondering about some of the features. Now, one of the guys again was saying he doesn't live near a store and he can't put his hands on some of these units. So he found it extremely helpful for me to be able to walk through and show some of the different features and talk about actually diving with this particular equipment. So I appreciate you guys watching. Again, my name's Bob Collins for Diver Supply. And as we always say here, dive safe. Thanks again.
Wow.